Hello and welcome to a wintry edition of the award-winning Gutter. It's post-January. We're not giving up booze. In fact, we're drinking more to get us through this window. I think that's basically what we advocate here on the Gutter Kids. The only way you're going to get through January without Liverpool signing players is to keep drinking. Am I right, John Gibbons?
Sign beers and hats.
So, that. Keo's looking at me like I'm mad, but that's not the first time I've seen that.
Long Johns for me.
He's got his eye on some Long Johns in the January window.
Who
does he play for?
We have talked about thermal wear. Josh Sexton is an interested observer thus far. He's not convinced. Me and Keo have both been to the well of thermals and decided you can get warm, you can get too warm, you can get itchy, you can get happy. It's very, very difficult to decide, but we'll leave it there. We'll save it for later. In part two, we'll dive deep into thermals when we run out of names and links. But we're going to start off by not talking about the contract saga. That's rule one of Gutter. Rule two of Gutter. No, we're going to talk about the striker situation. We don't have an immediate striker crisis on our hands, but Mo hasn't signed his COF contract yet. Luis Diaz, there are contract negotiations beginning. Darwin Nunez is where we're going to start. Darwin is not getting more time as the season's going by, Josh. He's getting less, I would say. And the less he gets and the shorter his cameos are becoming, the smaller his fan base is getting. And I'm going to you first as the honorary president of the newly formed Darwin Haters Club.
I really don't think it's newly formed. I think I'm the newest member. It's probably one of the oldest clubs going.
I suppose that's right. Yeah, it's not looking good for Nunez. I mean, I've put in my notes that if you rewind a year, an interesting cautionary tale, but an interesting parallel. Cody Gakpo's Liverpool career was in a similar state, I'd argue. He was not getting picked by Klopp. He was definitely the fifth pick. He was well behind Luis Diaz. He was behind Darwin Nunez. Jota was, when fit, was getting a game ahead of him. So he's all lost for Darwin at Liverpool. Are we seeing the last death throes of his Liverpool career the next few months?
It's hard to say, really, and I think every time I'm on these Gutter shows, I'm always at pains to say that I think the club will always do what's right by the player as much as they will by the club, and we don't know whether that's going to change now under Arne Slot compared to what it was under Klopp. I felt like under Klopp, unless a player was really sort of grinding his gears, a la Mamadou Sakho, he would basically keep players around because he was like, everybody's got a use, everybody's got a purpose, and they can just go when their contract expires, basically, unless there's some nominal fee that some club can pay us for him. I think Darwin probably still does retain value on the market. Like I've basically decided that since the weekend, which is when I joined the Darwin, I don't want to call it haters because I definitely don't hate him. Like he wears a Liverpool shirt, so I'm always going to support him when he's on the pitch.
It's not what you said before we went on air. What you said is, I'm done with that cunt. Well, somewhere it might have been worse.
I'm going to carry him to the airport in this ice.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy some Long Johns
on the way.
The Long Johns are for him, though.
And boot him up into
I want
that
it to be
plane.
nice and warm when he's on that plane.
It's all right, Mr. Measured. Come on, what?
No. I basically, like, the theory I've arrived at since the weekend is, like, United are definitely going to sign this Gyökeres from Sporting because he's Amarim's boy. So
yeah,
Darwin probably has some sort of market in Portugal because that's where he was last successful. So Sporting with their enhanced coffers from the Gyökeres to United, 150 million, big splash there. Can maybe get on by Darwin Nunez, but like I say, I probably am the reasonable one, and I'm ever the optimist, and it's why it's taken me so long to turn on Darwin, really, or at least for my opinion of Darwin to change. Like previously, like in the last few months of this season, I've been saying, well, he works really hard, and I think there'll be goal contributions there. I think I was even sort of on shows in the summer saying that if he can just play the Divock Origi role, and I almost don't even feel like he can play the Divock Origi role because I don't think he has the mentality to. Like Divock Origi could come into a game, as cold as anybody, like not played in weeks or months, or not fancied by anybody around the globe, and suddenly just pop up with a goal for Liverpool.
Something goes in off him.
Exactly, and like Darwin doesn't seem to even be able to do that. I don't know if that's like a combination of luck and what's going on in his head. For me, I'm probably leaning more now towards the side of it's what's going on in his head, because against United at the weekend, I just thought he was an absolute non-factor, and if anything, like actively harmed us when he came off the bench, which I was disappointed in, because I could probably lobby for Liverpool, like for the idea that Liverpool should have started that game with a natural number 9, of which he'd have been probably number one option besides Diogo Jota if Diogo Jota was sort of more match fit.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.